the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
The ripple effect of the UAW scandal. While federal investigators look into UAW misuse of funds, at least 7 or 8 of the most popular charities the union donates to have felt the strain of the UAW's closed checkbook until everybody that needs to goes to jail, that is. They took the money from the training, the UAW fat cats and the manufacturer fat cats, and they got together and they scammed the dough and they spent it on each other and they had a good time. And now the rank and file don't believe in them. The regular people at the manufacturers don't believe in them, don't believe in any of them. And they're putting people in jail left and right. The one UAW, or the one GM guy, no, was it GM? Chrysler. One of them, Chrysler. He died. His wife is getting sued for false income tax returns. It's not good. This whole scandal is really, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I didn't realize the people that are suffering. The charities. I don't know, like Make-A-Wish or whoever they give to. Cancer Society, all that kind of stuff. UAW. Checkbook's closed, baby. They couldn't write a check for 10 cents unless the government oversees it now. Because they've shown that they are crooks. Bad. Matter of fact, the UAW rank and file has already filed a suit. They want their dues money back. And by God, I don't blame them. I'll be honest with you, I don't blame them. We talked about the Detroit Auto Show a couple weeks ago. Mercedes is moving out because of conflict in scheduling and yada, yada. Well, the Detroit Auto Show people have for a while thought, man, this January auto show is just, it's brutal. The weather in Detroit is crummy up there on that big lake, whatever they call it. It's not good. And it's in a bad time. It's the beginning of the year when new models are being put up and put together and test driven, and they're not all ready yet. It's just too soon in the year. As a matter of fact, the February Chicago Auto Show might be a tad early, but it's always had a good response and a good turnout, where Detroit is kind of fallen by the wayside. And so here's the deal. Detroit is talking. The people that run the Detroit Auto Show have decided that this place like Mercedes, who is considering a change, and a couple other ones, they're going to take and change their date to October, to the fall. For the end of the year speculation, you'll have more cars that are what they call concept cars then, because they haven't been developed yet. Sometimes after the first of the year is when you get the cars they're developed now, and then they put the car out on the showroom floor, out on the show floor. But you won't have that in October. You'll have more concept cars, but that's okay. If they get a better turnout, and because they've had some terrible turnouts the last couple of years, and the weather's been especially really just crummy in Detroit the last couple of years in January. So guess what? That's probably a good idea. I think it's a great idea. FCA, and they have a new plan. Yeah, guess what? They are always having new plans. They're always hiding in that, or what did Ali call it, rope-a-dope? They're always ducking. The new FCA plan is to completely phase out diesels in passenger cars or passenger vehicles by 2022, following Toyota's lead, as they too are giving up on the diesels in passenger cars. I want to ask, my opinion, this is another ripple effect, but it's the ripple effect of Stinkygate from Volkswagen. While denying they can't make a diesel clean without a defeat device in it? VW and their corporate woes surely played a role here. Big dough. How much did they fine VW? They're still fining VW. They're still suing VW. They're still taking cars back. They're still buying cars. And the other guys have used defeat devices. They believe Mercedes did. They believe Chrysler did. And this is why Chrysler is now going to just say, that's it. We're done. We're not going to have any more diesels. Mercedes has come clean and said they're probably going to phase out the diesels in America anyway, because the European standards aren't quite so heavy duty, but they're going to be. So they're going to be in the same boat. and Bosch made them a defeat device that goes in the computer that knows when it's being tested and it cheats. Well, that's pretty slick. For every rule in this country or in the world, there's somebody out there that can go around it. And these guys did. And now they're all going to. I told you this was coming. The end of the diesel car or small truck, that's done. I told you this was coming. I said this 6 months ago. This will be the kiss of death for the diesel as we know it. And it is. It is the kiss of death. I'm one of the only that I know of talk show that will take your questions, fix your cars over the phone, but I'll tell you about your defects and your recalls right up front so that you know if you're driving one. And not too many people do that. There are car shows out there that try and fix your car. Of course, I haven't been stumped in 11 years, so I'm not going to complain. And that's why I do the recalls to start the show. If not us, someone we know, a loved one, a neighbor, someone is driving one of these cars, okay? I want you, the WIMS WHFB Car Guy listeners, to have all the information regarding your car or truck. After all, we depend on them every day. They are our connection to the world. This is why I start doing this. We're not done yet, because I told you this was a confession. And when we come back, we're going to go to confession part 2. Okay? Well, manufacturers have been better in recent years at initiating their own recalls or initiating a repair for a car they know is going to get recalled. Okay? Guess what? Let's not forget the runaround we got from Toyota, Lexus, over the unintended acceleration. Oh, it's a clip. Oh, it's a rug. Oh, it's a mat. It's the floor mat. Before they finally confessed to reprogramming your computer due to a glitch. Okay? You want to weigh in on any of this, you call me, 928 Car Guys. That's the phone. Give us a call anytime. Even if you got a question about your car. It doesn't have to be on topic. Ask me about your car. I can fix it. I can fix it right now, actually. GM's ignition gate. They covered up how many years did they cover up ignition gate? I'm going to guess and say around 20 before they threw Mary Barra in there as president and chief CEO to face the music and the sacrificial lamb. I'm telling you. 20 years. And Mary Barra knew about the ignition gate because she was an executive in the company before that. So it's not like they brought her in from left field. They brought her in from the starting lineup, trust me. How many people were killed when their car shut off unexpectedly because of ignition gate? And we didn't know about it because, well, the witnesses are gone. They're dead. We wouldn't know why that car crashed. Everything, there were so many deaths that they caused that they got away with. Or the 15 years or more of deadly airbags, Takata. Come on. And it's still going on. That is not gone, and it's not likely to get away too soon. Or VW, lying and covering up about their defeat device. It took a college group in California testing something and go, whoa, there's something in this computer that just doesn't make any sense. What is this? Next thing you know, we got us a little cheater bug. Came right out of that there brown box, right out of that special box. The magic smoke was let out, and guess what? VW took a pounding. Mercedes, FCA, all the diesel people that cheated are taking a pounding, and the guys from Bosch, one of them is already in jail. So guess what? And it's the end of international diesel production for passenger cars and trucks, small trucks, as we know it. You watch. I mean, it's going to be. I promise, I'm always going to give you gearheads and clutch busters a heads up on the shenanigans of the automotive world. And finally, how many times have you heard me report a recall and said, hey, that's my car, but I never got a letter? Why not? George says it's a recall. Get your VIN number, march into the dealer, and get it fixed. Car makers who lie and cover up have another very, very bad attribute about this stuff. They love to drag their feet. I still, to this day, remember reporting on the Jeep Grand Cherokee in Georgia with the no trailer hitch on it, got rear-ended, burst into flames, and mom and dad had to stand outside while their 4-year-old in a car seat in the back seat burned to death. That story, when I read it, brought tears to my eyes. When I reported it, brought tears to my eyes. And it's not doing a real good job right now. I got to tell you. That's just not right. Or the Takata airbag death in Florida. A fender bender. Young lady in a 2001 Honda. 2001, a 17-year-old car. Airbags go off in a fender bender. She's paralyzed from the waist or from the neck down. Paralyzed. Well, what do you do when I give you the recalls is up to you. But believe me when I say I don't do this for you. I really don't. That sounds wrong. If that sounds selfish, maybe it is. But I don't give these recalls and talk about the defects or even go through all the silly stuff I do in the car business to let you know what's going on for you. I do it for me. I sleep better knowing, and I feel better knowing that I talk to you and I let you know. What you do with it is up to you. But I put it out there and I feel better. There's a lot of people that just ignore what I tell them, and there's a lot of people that ignore when they get a recall notice. They just ignore it. There's a lot of people that listen to me and say, my car doesn't have that airbag. Well, you sure? Are you absolutely sure your car doesn't have that airbag? How do you know? I am the best mechanic I know I've ever met. I like me. And I don't know that airbag is safe. How do you know? How can you feel it? You have a deal with the big guy? 6 cents? I'm telling you. When you get your recalls, when you hear me talking, I'm doing it for me. You do what you want with it. That's where I'm at with that. I would never, ever push anything on anybody. I put it out there. I put it in front of you. You grab a fork and eat it, that's fine. If you don't, then you don't. It's that important to me for my peace of mind that I get it out to you. Now, there's my confession. And I'll say however many Hail Marys you want me to, Rick. I'm sorry. But I do it for me. I really, really do. But in Florida, in Miami, Ford has a self-driving test vehicle. It's a delivery test vehicle. And it's in cahoots with, I think it's Domino's Pizza. Here's the deal. You call up, you order, or you go online. I call up, throw that telephone away. That's a relic. You go online with your phone and you order a pizza pie or something from the store, from the Domino's. And the pizza pie comes in a car, in a Ford, with nobody driving. Okay? In the quarter panel, there's a slot for your credit card. You put in the old credit card, you pull it out, swipe it fast now, and ding, 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 ding. The passenger rear window, it's a 4-door car, the passenger rear window goes down, and out comes your pizza pie. You pick up your pizza pie, and it closes, rolls the window back up, and on down the road it goes. And you don't have to tip it. So you save a couple bucks there. I don't know how many of you remember watching the Jetsons when we were little. Some of you are too young to understand or remember. That really smacks of George Jetson. I mean, that's got George Jetson written all over it, all right? It really does. And not to be outdone by the military, there are several San Francisco people that have licenses to test autonomous driving. Waymo, Google, I think there's several of them. I got to tell you, Zoox, Phantom Auto, Starsky Robotics, and they have cars. This one happens to be, I think, a Chrysler Pacifica by Waymo, and they are operating autonomously. They are operating autonomously by computerized control in a central area. Does that sound like something familiar to you? How about drones? It's like a drone strike. Here comes the Pacifica. It swoops down into your street, into your neighborhood, pulls up in front of your door, picks you up. and you already told somebody where you wanted to go when you ordered it on your phone, which is, the hot thing to do. And so it takes you there. You've already given your credit card number. Car doesn't care. Don't have to tip the driver. Don't have to do anything. Only problem is I hope you don't get a flat tire. I hope there's not an accident on the freeway you got to wait for, because autonomous driving, it's got to get impatient. The guy running the drone, I mean, he's used to fast. But anyway, there's a guy that's running 3 cars or 4 cars sitting in a central office, maybe more than that. Let's just hope he remembers you're the one that wants to go to the root beer stand, not the donut shop. Okay? Okay? Or you're not the young guy that wanted to go to the strip club, and you're the priest that wants to go to a cathedral. Okay? Let's not confuse these people, guy. If you got 4 cars you're taking care of, make sure you take care of them correctly, each one individually. I don't know. I don't know if I trust this. You could end up with a lot of problems. You could end up with people ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the drone going, oh, geez, I messed up. How do you tell them to hop back in, and I'll take you where you really wanted to go? Maybe I will, maybe I won't.